and I'm here today to talk to you about getting ready to prune and what we need to do in order to get our equipment ready prior to pruning. And this is what all of the volunteers do when they come out here and help and assist us with the pruning in our orchard. There are three things basically that we need to do prior to pruning. Number one is sharpen the equipment. Number two is adjust the equipment. And finally, number three is to sanitize it, to make sure that we can make cuts that are clean and appropriate, and that we can do it in making those cuts without infecting the cuts that we're making on those trees. So let me show you a little bit about the types of tools that we need to have. We prefer to have bypass pruners. Those are the type that operate more or less like scissors, and that one blade moves past another blade. These are loppers, and these are hand shears. If you'll notice on these that there are nuts right here that are going to be used to tighten so that we can adjust them. But the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and sharpen those blades. On this blade, one side will be sharpened, the other one is not sharpened at all. We have to be very careful with that. It's not like a scissors. So the easiest thing to do is to take a stone like this and run that stone right down the edge to get a nice bevel and a sharp bevel prior to pruning. The way that I check to make sure that it is sharp is I run my thumb across the blade carefully, not this direction, but across the blade, and basically checking it in that way to see if it's sharp. If it's sharp, I'll feel a slight tingling on my thumb that will tell me that the blade is sharp. I'll run it a couple more times. It's a good idea to take that stone with you, put it in your pocket, and if you're doing a large job, stop periodically and put that edge back on that blade. That feels pretty good to me. The second thing that we're going to do is adjust it. And on a loppers, it's very critical to adjust it, not having it too loose and not having it too tight. If it's too loose, you're going to rip and shred the stems that you're cutting. If it's too tight and you're doing a big job, it's just going to fatigue you. It's going to make you tired. And the way that we check that is just take the loppers, put it out here, and see if it holds. It doesn't. This is too loose. We should be able to put it out like this, and it should hold in that position when we let it go. So let me go ahead and tighten this nut a little bit, holding it out. See it starting to hold. That tells me I'm getting the right tension. The other way we can do it is to throw it out. If it's too tight, you won't be able to throw it out like this, and it won't hold. Right? So this is the appropriate tension. We do the same thing with the hand shears. Make sure when you get a hand shears that you can adjust it. We'll sharpen it. We'll go ahead and adjust it again using that nut. Not too tight, not too loose. We don't want to shred or rip. And the last thing we do is sanitize it. What we use here is alcohol. We don't use Clorox or bleach because simply you just have to oil it afterwards or the equipment's going to rust. So what we'll do is take this, be very careful when you do this, we'll sanitize. This is an alcohol wipe. We'll sanitize on the outside, make sure that it's clean, make sure that it's all prepped and ready to go and nice and sanitized. Once we're done, we've done three things. We've gone ahead and we've sharpened it, we have adjusted them, and we have finally sanitized them. Now we're ready to prune.